growing broad beans in containers from seeds. Broad beans or fava beans or horse beans or pigeon beans. Vicia Faba. They develop like a bramble bean yet is more similar to a pea in nature. They are not too mainstream in North American gardens, so not appallingly simple to drop by. You can develop them like you would hedge beans. They like cool temperatures and wilt in the mid-year warm. Also, I've discovered they become okay in containers. They don't have a profound root framework and are not frightfully requesting with regards to water or supplements. Simply treat them like shrub beans and you'll be fine. Like peas, broad beans are a low-yielding plant, so plant a few. The seeds are gigantic and the prescribed planting profundity is something like an inch profound. The plants grow 1 to 2 feet tall with a couple of stems radiating from the base of the plant. My first involvement with growing broad beans on the gallery in a huge holder didn't work out too well. I had heaps of development and bunches of blossoms, however, no beans. Not a solitary unit. In the end, the plants quit growing altogether and were tormented by buildup and aphids. I chose that the beans were not to blame, and on the off chance that I had put them out in a sunnier spot and maybe watered them somewhat less, they would have improved the situation. Not to be discouraged, I chose to plant a couple of seeds the accompanying spring. This time I placed them in a profound holder in the sunniest recognize my overhang can offer. The plants were minimal, however solid, and each created cases of consumable beans inside. I'm very sure they were a long case assortment, yet what I got were short units with somewhere in the range of 1 to 4 beans for each case. When the late spring heat was topping, the plants were blurring. They were finished by July, authorizing the compartment space for something different. So what do you do with these things? In case you're just growing a couple of plants as an analysis, you do what I do and eat them crudely. I like eating peas crude. Youthful street beans, when peeled, taste a great deal like new peas. So eating a modest bunch of crude broad beans was no issue for me. The best time to pick them is the point at which they are youthful, when the beans are quite recently beginning to swell in the case. Be that as it may, on the off chance that you need to go for an all the more sharp-tasting bean, hold up until the point that they develop somewhat more. I utilize a couple of scissors to cut the cases from the brambles. The pods are very thick and require somewhat more push to open than an ordinary garden pea. Within the case is loaded with a fleece fiber that covers the beans in their case. In many societies, the beans are eaten as they may be, particularly on the off chance that you intend to cook them somehow. In any case, you ought to know that the bean is secured with a thick layer that a few people jump at the chance to peel. I want to eat crude broad beans peeled. You can peel them crude, yet it is somewhat of an agony to do as such. You can likewise whiten them in bubbling water to mellow the skins to make peeling less demanding, yet I would just do this on the off chance that you intend to cook them and completely need the skins evacuated.